Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So in this video, I'm going to run through a couple articles talking about this Harrison Butker guy. You know, he's the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, the back-to-back Super Bowl reigning champions. See the hat there? And if you haven't heard by now, he made a commencement speech at Benedictine College. It is a Catholic school, and Harrison Butker has openly professed his Catholic beliefs in the past. This isn't a new thing. His religion is not something that he's hidden before. And so we got this one I'm going to start off with. The NFL responds to Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker's commencement speech urging women to be homemakers. Now, I don't know if you could say he actually urged women to be homemakers rather than talk about just how enjoyable that actually can be for a lot of women and is for a lot of women. Some men too. But let's look into this first article and then I will show you a couple others as well. But the NFL has responded to Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker's controversial commencement speech at Benedictine College, where he urged women to be homemakers and railed against Pride Month. The league said in a statement to CBS News that it doesn't hold his views. Of course, right? I mean, the league that is introducing the Black National Anthem is introducing a bunch of woke things ever since the pandemic, essentially, it seems like. Major League Baseball and NFL has just been going more and more woke, and I get it. They're trying to expand into a new realm of fans so that they can have as broad a reach as possible. But the problem is that people go to sports to get away from the politics, the things in life that weigh them down, because they just want to simply cheer on their team to win and root against their opponents, right? But the NFL doesn't care about that. They just want as many eyeballs on their product as possible, so not only are they sending games and risking players' health by having these games played overseas at weird times of the day and all this that they're doing, trying to get those people to be fans, they're also catering to this woke culture nowadays, and it's pretty pathetic. But what do you expect from a league that exploited their players to the point where they were getting brain damage, tried to act like they had no idea what CTE is, who have been, players that were involved in violent crimes, right? Ray Lewis was accused of killing a guy. They let him back in the league. Ray Rice, we all saw the video of what he did to his wife on that elevator. And if you haven't seen it, I don't recommend watching it. Just recently, another Chiefs player, Rashee Rice, was involved in I believe it was a 6-car accident. He was going 119 miles per hour, wrecked a Lamborghini, a brand new Corvette, injured innocent other people. And that didn't even get 10% of the response that Harrison Butker is getting. And all he did was a commencement speech. Just goes to show how vile the woke side is when it comes to fighting for their bullcrap ideology. But Harrison Butker gave a speech in his personal capacity, said Jonathan Bean, the Senior Vice President and Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer at the NFL. So the NFL has a Chief DEI Officer, of course, while DEI is on its way out and dying, the NFL is definitely going to keep this guy employed, right? I mean, you got to stay woke. But, quote, his views are not those of the NFL as an organization. The NFL is steadfast in our commitment to inclusion, which only makes our league stronger. You mean it makes you more money for the virtue signaling, right? Especially since you're going to try to keep selling Bud Light. But the organization's response comes after backlash over the three-time Super Bowl champion's remarks in a 20-minute address last weekend at the Catholic Liberal Arts School. He took aim at Pride Month, women in the workforce, President Biden, and abortion. Butker, who has made his conservative Catholic beliefs well known, began his address by attacking what he called dangerous gender ideologies in an apparent reference for Pride Month, which has been celebrated in June since the Stonewall riots of 1969, right? So I'm going to continue actually quoting what they're saying that he said, but I'm going to recommend that everybody go and watch the speech themselves. It's a 20-minute speech, and I don't believe that it's welcome on YouTube. I haven't seen any of the big YouTubers, anybody else actually go and play the video to correct some of this stuff, and it's unfortunate, but the rules are the rules, and if it's going to get you demonetized or canceled or whatever, then we just got to do the best that we can. So in a different part of the speech, he said things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerative cultural values in media all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. He also condemned the president for his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and for his pro-abortion stance despite being Catholic himself. He later addressed the woman in the audience, suggesting that their most important title should be that of homemaker. I mean, what didn't the Pope support Biden too? So, I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolic lies told to you, Butker said. Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. One of the most exciting and joyful things that can be experienced by mankind, in my opinion. But I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say her life truly started when she started living her vocation as a wife and a mother. A truly noble thing, in my opinion. The kicker also quoted Taylor Swift's song Bejeweled while criticizing the Catholic Church and its clergy over being overly familiar with their parishioners. As my teammate's girlfriend says, familiarity breeds contempt, Butker said, referring to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Butker received criticism from many online, including former Kansas City Commissioner Justice Horn. Harrison Butker doesn't represent Kansas City, nor has he ever. Kansas City has always been a place that welcomes, affirms, and embraces our LGBTQ plus community members, Horn said on social media. I wonder if Horn believes that Kansas City is a place that embraces their Christian and Catholic brothers and sisters. I don't know. Curious, right? But the kicker here to me is that there is a petition on change.org that has been circulating calling for the dismissal of Butker. People want him kicked off the Chiefs and out of the NFL. It's collected more than 95,000 signatures so far, and it's still going. And that just blows my mind because check this out. But just a month ago, on April 2nd, Jackson County, where the Chiefs and Kansas City Royals are located, actually had a vote to keep the teams in town and renovate the stadiums, or not, right? And I find it curious that 78,000 of those people voted against it, and it was ultimately shot down. The people don't want to fund a renovation of the Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs play. But look at the numbers. 95,000 people have signed the petition so far versus 78,000 people who didn't want the renovation of the stadium. I don't think these people signing the petition are in Kansas City. I doubt they're NFL fans. And if they are, they're certainly not Chiefs fans. And if you're not a Chiefs fan, of course you want the number one kicker in the league to be kicked off the team. Hopefully the Chiefs as an organization decide to stand by Harrison Butker. They don't have to agree with his opinion, but they certainly should not kick this guy off the team. It would be a disgrace, and I'm 100% positive that there's another team out there that's going to not care and sign him because he is the best kicker in the NFL, in my opinion. But aren't these numbers just curious? Let's read more about this petition. It's actually at 95,000. This article was written before the number got to that point, but the petition to boot Harrison Butker from the Kansas City Chiefs surges to 95,000 signatures after the kicker's sexist, homophobic, and racist college graduation speech. Of course, you gotta love the way that that is labeled. Somebody that hasn't seen the speech is certainly going to have an opinion going into this. That's why I encourage everybody to go and actually look that up and watch it to hear the actual words that he said. A Change.com petition demanding the release of the Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker from the team and the NFL has gone viral in a wake of his controversial graduation speech at a private college in Kansas. Butker, an outspoken Catholic and married father of two, congratulated the woman receiving their degrees at Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas last weekend. He said most of them were probably more excited about getting married, having children, and staying at home to raise them rather than establishing their careers. I don't know if that's really true, but they should be, because that's an exciting thing to do, even if you have a career. But the description on the petition says, the harmful remarks made by Harrison Butker, kicker of the Kansas City Chiefs, during the commencement address at Benedictine were unacceptable. According to who? You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish that they would have another petition going around of people that are pro Christianity, pro-Christian beliefs, and counter this. But, that's not how it takes a Taylor Swift type scenario to bring non-football fans into the fold of being a fan of a team. And really, those people are going to go away as soon as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce break up, if they do. And I hope they don't. I like seeing the Taylor Swift controversy as a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I think it's cool. I don't even know any of her songs, so I don't listen to her music or anything, but I think it's funny. I think it's funny and entertaining, and isn't that what sports are supposed to be? That's why we don't want this woke crap creeping in, okay? They claim that Harrison Butker's comments reinforce harmful stereotypes that threaten social progress. They create a toxic environment that hinders our collective efforts towards equality, diversity, and inclusion in society. It is unacceptable for such a public figure to use their platform to foster harm rather than unity. Well, in my opinion, he was fostering unity. It's just your perspective because you are so woke that you don't get it. They demand accountability for the sports figures who should be role models for promoting respect for all people regardless of their race, gender, identity, and sexual orientation. We call upon the Kansas City Chiefs management to dismiss Harrison Butker immediately for his inappropriate conduct. And like I said before, it's just so ironically stupid that there's no petition to remove any of the violent offenders from the NFL, anybody that's actually committing real crimes, felonies and such. The Catholic Christian promoting his own personal beliefs that a lot of people agree with. Maybe even the majority of sports fans. There's something you have to understand, and this is my opinion, but I believe that the sports realm has defeated racism, and they did it decades ago. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in 1947. That's almost 80 years ago. Which just tells me that sports are way ahead of culture as far as not being racist. And so when the NFL brings in these divisive things that the woke culture likes to harness, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that doesn't represent full-on equity or inclusion. I mean, they're sitting here trashing a Catholic over Catholic values, but where's the inclusion for that? True diversity, equity, and inclusion would include all people and all beliefs, but it doesn't. It only represents a certain group. An LGBT, BLM, Antifa type group, in my opinion. You go to your DEI boss here and say, hey, they're not including me because of my Christian beliefs. When I said that Christ is king, they all laughed and mocked me. You think DEI is going to come to the rescue for that guy? I don't. I think it's hilarious that the woke culture would attack somebody over their, Catholic beliefs while defending all the things that go on in the rest of the NFL. Do you remember anybody coming out about Rashee Rice just a month ago when he wrecked his car? I mean, there was some people, but those were Chiefs haters. That wasn't the woke. That wasn't this cultural movement trying to come and cancel him. They were fine with that. So let's go over to this last article. I know this is getting long, but Kansas City deletes tweet disowning Chiefs Harrison Butker as backlash intensifies. That's right. Yesterday, let me pull up X, and I want to go through just some tweets that I have highlighted here. Got one here from Jillian Anderson. We'll start off with that. I worked in the NFL. It's a terrible culture. Harrison Butker is the last person who should be losing his job. Harrison Butker is fighting for women, and the left is too brainwashed to know what's good for them. Being a submissive wife who honors God and raises children is an honor and a privilege, and I agree with that. 3, even though I am proud of my career, nothing is more meaningful than being a mother. Not even close. 4, God's order is best. He is intentional in his design. And I 100% agree with that post. And that was her responding to this post by Greg Price. There's currently a petition at change.org calling on the Chiefs to release Harrison Butker for his commencement speech. You think of all the horrible things current NFL players have done, Tyreek Hill beating his kids, Deshaun Watson, the various deadbeat dads. I don't know if Tyreek Hill actually beat his kids, but I know that Adrian Peterson did. He beat his kids with a switch or whatever, bloody, back into the NFL shortly after that. But it's a Catholic guy telling women that families are more important than careers, where people draw the line. That's correct. That's the line. It's not Deshaun Watson. It's not any of the other players that I mentioned. It's that. And we have this tweet here that I really liked from End Wokeness. NFL player beats his ex-girlfriend. The left snoozes. NFL player abuses his son on tape. The left snoozes. NFL player arrested for drunk driving. The left snoozes. But if an NFL player promotes Christian values, the left, this has gone too far. Right? An homage to Salty Cracker. Let's go back and check out some more here. The Hodge twins. The official account of Kansas City just tried to dox their kicker over politics. Fire whoever sent this tweet out. And the official Kansas City Twitter account, you see it's got the little verified, gray check mark. That's bigger and more important than a blue check. They said, just a reminder that Harrison Butker lives in the city of Lee Summit. And then a little while later, they deleted that tweet and said, we apologize for the previous tweet. It was shared in error. But I don't know how you accidentally type that up and then hit enter. Just on accident. It was an error. My bad. When I tell people in Kansas City, because I'm from Kansas City, and I talk to my friends, and I say, you guys, you're losing the culture. Kansas is turning blue, and you guys don't even recognize it. And they fight me, and they say, no, this is a Republican state. Look at your governor. Look at the Kansas City, Missouri mayor. You guys are losing it. And this is another example right here. The Kansas City Twitter account, the official account on X, is woke. And this comes on the heels of the Kansas City, Missouri mayor saying that he wants the illegal immigrants from New York to come to Kansas City. You guys are losing the battle there. And there's nothing I can do from Florida with my vote. But you guys can. And I hope you do. And let's actually check out Mayor Q, the Kansas City, Missouri's mayor, what his response was. A message appeared earlier this evening from a city public account. The message was clearly inappropriate for a public account. The city has correctly apologized for the error, will review account access, and ensure nothing like it is shared in the future from public channels. He's just sorry that it became public. It sucks for him that he's got to go and fire that person or make excuses why they're not firing that person. I wonder if we need to have a petition to get that person that was running that account fired. But look, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. This one's definitely been long enough, and I think I've covered the gambit of information and shared my own opinion. I will, once again, just recommend that folks go and take the 20 minutes out of their time and listen to it yourself. Don't let headlines dictate to you what this person actually said. Don't make a judgment until you go and watch it. And hey, if you agree with these woke petitioners, go sign the petition. It's not going to get him fired, but it might make you feel better. And if you agree with Harrison Butker, please hit that like button and share this video. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.